Welcome to this week's episode of Behind the Fiction Ask Alexa edition. I'm Alexa Larberg.
And I'm Stephen Campbell, and this is the show where we discuss the books LMBPN is publishing this week. And we're going to talk a little bit about last week's books, too, because we were off last week for Christmas. So we hope you guys had a Merry Christmas. We certainly did. Alexa, as you may notice from a different background, is still with relatives. And she described herself as looking like a what?
Fly. Fly. I look like a fly.
Of which, of course, I had no comment, but it's kind of funny. So we'll just leave it at that. Did you have a good
I'm going to make
Christmas?
this a plug for intergalactic pest control. We need some pest control.
Nice. Very smooth. Very smooth. So did you have a good Christmas?
I had a great Christmas. It was very fun. Lots of kids and toys and trash, but it was very fun.
Lots of kids, lots of toys, lots of trash. Yeah, it all kind of goes together, doesn't it?
It does. And food. I don't know if I've stopped eating yet.
I haven't. I'm trying to, instead of stopping eating, I'm just trying to eat everything so that then I can stop eating.
Yeah, me too.
All right.
So that it's gone.
That's the only way to do it. Alexa, what's our first book this week?
Up first, we have Making Magic, which is book 2 in the Witches of Pressler Street series.
And that's from Martha Carr and Michael Anderle. And if we had been here last week, you would also know about book 1, which is The Magic Legacy. So these books are coming out a week apart. So we're gonna talk a little bit about The Magic Legacy to kind of lead into this. But we need a tease. We need some kind of a question as a tease. What do you have for us, Alexa?
Witches are being murdered in Austin, but how do you put them back in the vault?
Well, that's a great question. There are 3 witches of Pressler Street, which you'll know if you're watching this and you see the cover. You'll see that there are 3 of them. They are the city's only hope, but they're running out of time. A deadly creature that's been locked away for a millennia has been hiding in plain sight. But Big Sister Laura accidentally set the creature free, and no one knows how to put it back. Find the witch killer and stop its path of destruction on Austin. And when you hear the city Austin, you probably think Martha Carr, because lots of Martha's books take place in Austin. So this is another one. So I feel for the people of Austin. There are just so many things that have beset that poor city, thanks to Martha. So thank you, Martha. And we will have an edition of Behind the Fiction with Martha Carr to talk about the Witches of Pressler Street and some other new series that she and Michael are working on the next week or so.
Woo-hoo!
Alexa, what is next?
Up next, we have book 4 in the Witch of Federation series.
Witch of the Federation series, as you probably know, has been a blockbuster series for us at LMBPN. This is the 4th book. Stephanie Morgana is back. This is also a massive book. All of these books are long. This one is 240,000 words. And, you know, if you assume that an average book is like 60,000 words, this is like 4 books rolled into one and all for the price of one. Very popular series. If you haven't started it yet, go back to the cleverly named Witch of the Federation 1 and get started there. I think you'll really like this one. But if you've been following along, you've probably been waiting for this one. So it's coming out this week. Alexa, what's next?
Gnomes Magic, which is book 2 in the Maggie Parker series.
And that's another one of these series where we had book 1 last week and we didn't get a chance to talk about it. So book 1 was actually the Magic Compass. And once again, we need a question to start this off. Alexa, what do you have for us?
If smartphones and GPS rule the world, why is Maggie Parker hunting a magic compass to save the planet?
All right, you're a young person, Alexa. Do smartphones rule your world?
Yes, I cannot drive anywhere without my smartphone.
And your GPS.
Because I don't know where I'm going.
Or why you should be there or when you should be there, unless you look at your calendar on your smartphone.
Exactly. All my reminders, all the things.
All right. So Austin, once again, poor Austin. Austin detective Maggie Parker has seen some weird things in her day. Of course, living in Austin where all these weird things keep happening. But she finds a surly gnome rooting through her garage. And it's like, okay, this is the weirdest of all. So her world's being turned upside down. Martha Carr, Michael Anderle, and Austin female Austen detective, brand new series. The first book is The Magic Compass. The second book is The Gnomes Magic. You're going to like this. Alexa, what is next?
Our last ebook is The Dwarf King.
Hunt of the Dwarf King, actually, because we're
Yep.
hunting for the word hunt to start this off. Now, the first book, this is another one where the first book was last week. We didn't get a chance to talk about it. That was Return of the Dwarf King. And this is, I don't know, this is a really cool series. I'll read the tagline for it. A broken ship, a missing friend, a whole new world of magical artifacts for the taking, a cosmic vacation for our intrepid treasure hunter. But it's not just any treasure hunter, as you might imagine from the title. We've got ourselves a dwarf, but not just any dwarf, a tall dwarf. And he has a sidekick, a dragon who's really tiny. So we have a tall dwarf, a tiny dragon, and they are off chasing artifacts. So join Finn and Penny and their new friends on an adventure that spans the globe and holds the fate of an entire planet, including Austen, I'm sure, in its twists and turns. This is from Charlie Case and Michael Anderle, so it may not be in Austen, but it's going to be fun. The cover on this one is super cool. The image of the dwarf and the dragon, very cool, and it looks like it's going to be a very popular series for us. Alexa, do we have anything in audio this week?
We have one. We have book 5 in the Animus series for pre-order, and this title is Revenant.
Yes, so that is, if you've been following along with this series, you're going to want to pre-order book 5. It actually comes out in mid-January, but the pre-order just went live. So it's a great thing for you to use your Audible credit for if that's the way you buy your audiobooks. And that is it for this week. We will have some other interviews for you later this week because we've got a lot of really cool new stuff coming out this week and at the beginning of the year. A lot of new series that are really taking off, and we're very excited about them.
We are.
So thank you for listening. We will be back in your ears next week, next Monday.
See you then.